Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and today I'm going to be flipping through my Makselife flagship. Now this is one of my favorite planner things. I love Makselife. I love the Makselife coaching group. It's called Club Moxie. I talk about it in this video as I get into it, but I just want to flip through and show you guys how Q1 went as far as goal setting, Makselifing. I really just love the Makselife system, and you'll notice something in this video. I don't show the power sheets at all. I have not used the power sheets. I really tried, but it is just not working for me. I really just love the Makselife system. My thought process going into this is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, this is working perfectly for me. Why am I trying to throw in the power sheets? And it's just not working. It's just not gonna work. And I know that I'm 2 years into this one, or like 1 year and 1 quarter into this one, and I just love it. I love the Makselife system. I love having the weekly goal pages in here. I think that's really where the Makselife system shines. There are a lot of planners that have like a monthly page in the beginning, or like goal setting chunk in the beginning of the planner, and there's something you refer to like on a monthly basis. But the Makselife has an extra page where you look at your goals every single week. You have a reflection page, so you have to look and assess how your goals went the last week, and it also has a page for you to write out your goals for the week. And I just love that. I love being able to break it down into weekly chunks. There have been a lot of years where I would make monthly goals, and by the second week in the month, I've forgotten about the list. Like, poof, it disappears from my brain because it's something that's not like right in front of my face every single week, where this one, it's in your face every single week. So you can choose to skip it. Of course, I'll show you in this video that I did skip some weeks, but overall, on the whole, it's easy to see this from week to week and get reminded like, oh yeah, I'm still working towards these goals. And especially, you know, if you're a working professional, if you're a mom, you need something to kind of like bonk you over the head and get you back into goal setting mode sometimes. And just a monthly one sheet, like hint, hint, the power sheets, just doesn't work for my brain. I need that reminder week to week. I find that the Makselife system just works so good for me, and I'm absolutely sure that it's gonna be something I use from year to year for the foreseeable future. I just absolutely love it. Those weekly pages are just gold for me, and I can't say enough great things about it. I have people comment on my planner videos. If I would choose one planner that's not just your everyday planner, that's a little bit something extra, it's the Makselife. It's those weekly pages that totally make the Makselife gold for me. So I really just want to let you guys know how much I love it. I've talked about it in lots of videos, but I really want to drive that point home, that it's just a great system if you want to goal set. And if you don't want to goal set, it's not for you, because it's going to remind you every week that you're not goal setting. But if you're in that mode where you want to not just like tread water, you want to thrive, you want to be a little bit above like your everyday going through the motions, this is it. Like, this is it. I really find that it's super helpful. Even those weeks where I feel like I'm treading water and like everything's going wrong, the kids are sick, things are happening that are not on our normal routine and normal schedule, I find that referring to the Makselife actually really helps me like stay into more than just that like treading water state. Like, it lets me do a little bit more than that, or at least keep my basic habits and routines down pat, because they're in there every week reminding me, oh, I need to be kind of working on these. And there's something about it just setting the tone for the week as well. If I fill out that weekly reflection and I set my weekly goals, I feel like I have a good start for the new week. So I've just found it really helpful, and I want to just show you guys and flip through my entire Q1, like page by page, show you guys exactly how all the weeks lined up. You can pause the video at any point and read any of the pages. It's there on the screen. I do flip through pretty fast, so you will have to pause if you want to like actually read all of my stuff. I've just really enjoyed the system. I changed it up a little this year to use those actual weekly layout pages, like the Monday through Sunday pages, because I didn't really use them last year very much. I didn't use that page consistently last year, so I really wanted a way that I was going to fill out this whole book. I'm really just dedicated to filling out this entire thing this year, and I found a way to do that. I write down my weekly wins, and it again helps me stay in that mindset of growth mindset, positivity, getting stuff done. I almost said the other word, getting stuff done mode. And I find that it's really just a great practice for me to write those weekly wins every day. Like I'm saying, when I'm saying every day, every week, it's not every single day or every single week. Things go wrong, things happen, you fall off track some, but I picked back up, and you'll see that in here. Like, some weeks are just not filled out very well. And yeah, I've also tried to really embrace the habit trackers. I'm so bad about habit tracking. I've said this in lots of videos. If you watched a lot of my goal setting and plan with me type videos, I miss a day of like filling out the habit tracker, or I miss a couple days of filling it out, and then I'm like, oh, I don't remember if I did X, Y, Z 3 days ago, because if it's like a day later, I don't know. Like I just totally forget things, and I don't really know if I did X, Y, Z that day, and then I just don't fill it out the rest of the week because I'm like, what's the point? It's not going to be filled out. So I have just tried to embrace the messy bits. That's part of Makselife, is just embrace the messy bits. Just do it anyway. Do it the best you can. It's okay if it's not 100% filled out. And I've embraced that, where I try to fill out those habit trackers. And if I don't fill them out, it's okay. If I skip a few days, it's okay. If half of the habit tracker's filled out and then the end half of the week's not filled out, it's also okay. I just really never loved habit trackers until finding that thought process. Is like, it's okay if it's not perfect and filled out every single day, because stuff happens and it's real life and it doesn't have to be perfect. So that's something I've also embraced through this process of having habit trackers on the page every single week, and they're not always even started filling out. Like some of them are completely empty, but I've tried really, really hard to add more habit tracking in, and you'll see that in this video. So that's a long intro to talk of all the praises of the Makselife system and let you guys know how my goal setting is going. I'm gonna stick with this through Q2 and all through the end of the year, unless something crazy happens, but I just love the system. With all that rambling out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into the video. We'll switch camera angles and I'll walk you through my whole Q1. It's actually almost the end of April, but I wanted to go ahead and flip through this because I have been keeping up with this pretty regularly, and I wanted you guys to see, you know, your goal setting doesn't have to be perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some weeks you miss, and I just want to show you guys all the good, bad, and ugly that goes into this. I did not do the compass assessment and stuff, but I do have my yearly goals all written out here. No vision boards, no brainstorming things, nothing. It's just annual goals right there. And then moving right into January, this was the first and only month I used the monthly calendar. I just don't end up using these. You can see the rest of them are blank, even into this month, April. They're just blank. I don't use them for anything. I have a monthly calendar on my desk that's like my family calendar. I put all of our appointments and kids' activities and stuff on that. So way back in January, I thought I'd write out all of the Makselife stuff, and also write in my Sunday reflection day. And I didn't stick with doing that every month. I love the way it looked. I referred back to this a few times, seeing when different Zoom meetings were for the Makselife Club Moxie, and I just didn't end up using this very much at all. And then, you know, moving forward, I did not use it at all. But I love the way it looks. I love being able to have the dates on here. So I may end up trying to go back to this. I'm doing it just for the sake of doing it. It was useful a little bit, but I could also look those up on the Facebook Club Moxie private page. But I just kind of liked the way it looked. If you don't know, Club Moxie is the online group coaching group offered by Makselife, and I think it's a great group. I am on their affiliate crew, so I get access to it through that, but I was paying it myself for a while. They have better rates if you subscribe more than just month to month, so definitely check it out if you're interested. At least like check it out for 1 month. I find it really helpful. The training sessions are super helpful. They are live, like these are scheduled live events, but if you don't catch it live, you can always watch it later. And they also put it in podcast form. So that's how I tend to listen to them. And sometimes I listen to them more than once. I find them really helpful and motivating. And yeah, I love that group. But I didn't really end up using this page very much. And then I moved into my monthly goals for January. I wrote them out and dot penned them, checked them off. At the end, you can see some arrows, which means did not get accomplished. And then moving in, I did like a first part of the year reflection because I didn't really have a weekly reflection. I wasn't doing my weekly reflections at that point. And then I also colorful dot penned these, and these are the Zig clean color dot pens. They have a dot side and then a writing side. And I've done swatch videos on all of these. I have pretty much all the colors now except for metallics. And I checked things off, didn't go back and check off everything. And then for the weekly pages, I don't use this as a weekly planner. I use this as keeping track of my weekly wins. And I also use the Moxie markers in the colors and highlight what category these fall into. So all the 8 colors are in there, plus there's a darker gray as well. So I really like the way that the rainbow looked. I did end up using the habit tracker on and off. You'll see some weeks I do, some weeks I don't. And also some weeks I'm way more successful at it than others. This is the one I missed. Then moving in, I tried my weekly reflection a little bit different. I did like a quad spread there. More goals, more weekly wins, and I was using the Moxie stencil bookmark up there to write wins, and then I stopped doing that because I missed one line and it just, I don't know, I didn't like the way it looked. Here's the goals again, same goals. This time I did a little bit of brush lettering, and like that again, did the quad layout there for those. More wins, more habit tracking. See, I was really good the first month. Did the quads again, but then I used the Moxie markers to make the big titles, and I've done this a lot where I just do the block letters and then cursive over it. I really started loving the way that looked because I'm not very good at brush script or anything. So I feel like that looked nice, and again, did the quad layout. Goals, again, dotted. I stopped dotting them at some point, you'll see. And then the wins, I stopped writing the wins, so you had that extra line there. Still stuck with the habit tracking. Moving in. This one, I switched it. I ended up getting the mild liners in the neutral colors. So these are mild liners. They just have a neutral set, and it's beautiful. Of course, I'll link to everything. I'll link to Makselife. I do have a coupon code for Makselife as well. And I did the same kind of block letters, but I did it dividing the paper into 4 little sections down. And I ended up sticking with that quite a bit, you'll see. But I really like the block letters, and I love these neutral colors. And again, for the goals, I marked them with the dot pens. I don't always dot pin them now. And then more wins, more habits. And I did end up filling out my monthly reflection for this one. I didn't always do that. I kind of forget about it being there. And then again, like I said, no monthly spreads at all. I got my monthly goals. I was pretty good about doing this pretty consistently. Then I used the Moxie markers for this one. You can see it's like Moxie colors. Wins, habits. I tried something different. I was using one of the Tombos to try to like make it colorful, and it did not work. I hated it, so I just went with the light pink everywhere else. Again, goals, wins, still doing some habits. This one was Valentine's week, so I made it very Valentine's-y. Lots of pinks and teals on there, and I also started using more Hubman and Chub Girl stickers. I started getting their stickers. Actually, some of these are Create with Pen as well. I noticed these are Create with Pen. I started getting the Hubman and Chub Girl kits, and also I ended up with a bunch of Valentine's Day stickers. So I wanted to sticker it up, make it look cute. And then also wins weren't quite as good. You can see like self-care, sick day, sick day, sick day, not feeling great this week. So there was not a whole lot going on. Lots of habits missed. You can see all of the black is habits that did not happen that week. And then this week was when I pen swatched the Moxie markers. I was trying to get them as close to the colors as possible. I checked them out with mild liners, and I just did not love some of the matches on this. You can go watch my video. I overall like them, but a couple of the matches just did not work for me at all. And then I went teal again, like lovey-dovey. I was using up some of my Valentine's Day stickers, and I can't remember if I wrote my goals in one of the A5 companion notebooks for this week, or if I just didn't do goals at all. I can't remember which thing it happened to be. And then wins for this week, you can see I didn't start the habit tracker, and I totally know myself. If I don't set this up at the beginning of the week, it does not happen. It just does not happen. Like midway through the week, I'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't write in my habits, so why start now? And then also this day, I didn't write any wins this day. You'll see I've skipped pieces here and there, and I didn't do my monthly reflection again. Like, forget about it sometimes. No monthly calendar. And then here I ended up using some of the March stickers from Hubman and Chub Girl to decorate my monthly spread. And I really love when I have little stickers on these pages. I think it's super cute. And then this one, I did a different pen. This is a Pentel Energel in Free, and it's a gray pen, and I love, it's like a blue steely gray. I ended up using the Moxie markers in both shades of gray for writing the words out. And then I also used the gray for my goals, and I didn't dot pen these. I felt like all the neutral colors looked nice this week. And I did my wins, didn't have a whole lot on the weekend, and then also have my goals there. Some of the habits are just kind of falling off. And then moving into the next week, I went ahead and went green. I think this is one of the Tombos that I used, but again, like same concept, 4 different sections. I don't do my wins. That's one of the reflection questions, because I do the wins all week long. So I don't end up writing that one. That's why there's only 4 for me. And then I wrote out my goals, again, didn't dot pen. I've got my weeklies. My habit tracker totally didn't get used that week. And then this one, I tried something different. Pink and gray that week. My goals. I'm doing pretty good. March, I fall off. You'll see a few very much not done spreads, but there's the weekly wins. And here's one that I didn't even do my reflection, didn't do my goals this week. And then, yeah, this was when Papa passed away. So we were dealing with Papa passing away, Johnny was leaving, I was home alone with the kids, and we also had a dance competition weekend in San Antonio. So I drove back and forth to San Antonio a couple of times over that weekend. Things just didn't happen. I didn't have this with me in the hotel, so that was part of why this wasn't filled out, but this was all just stress. So I didn't end up doing this week. And then again, like catching up to life, didn't end up filling this one out. We were out of town through like midday Sunday. I can't remember what time we came home, but it was like right before dinner time. So I just didn't have the energy to fill it out. And then here's what this week looked like. I did end up filling these out that week. I did end up filling out my monthly reflections. I actually am so bad. Do not use the compass assessment. I don't like the compass assessment questions. I feel like a lot of them are just irrelevant for me. So it's hard for me to take it very seriously, and I don't know, some of the questions are a little bit more woo-woo-y than I prefer, so I just didn't do it. You can see I just didn't do the compass assessments. I don't even know if I filled out the first one. That's actually a good question. Yeah, is that supposed to be mine? Yeah, that's supposed to be my life compass. Totally didn't do it. Didn't really get into it last year and decided not to even bother with it. But I did fill out my monthly reflections, and then my weekly reflection I went ahead and put here, which I thought I hadn't filled out like going into that week, because it's blank, but my weekly reflections are here. I don't know why I did it like that, but I did. And then we're moving into April now. So there's April, and I will stop there. We're totally into April. I did end up skipping a few weeks here and there. You saw that, life happens. But overall, I feel like I've stuck really consistently with this, and I love doing this, guys. I can't wait till my whole book is done. Look at the rainbow going through. I love, love, love the winds being all color-coded and rainbowy. Can't wait till the whole book is filled up. I'm like, there's a couple of gaps, that's no big deal. I'm trying not to aim for perfection. I'm so perfectionistic. Like if I miss a week, I'm like, oh, what's the point? And then I get down on myself about it and then don't want to keep going. But I've really tried to commit to this and told myself, you gotta just keep going, even when you miss a week. So that's what I've been doing. I miss a week, the next week's a clean slate. I start from scratch and keep going. So that's what it looks like. I hope you guys like this flip through of my Makselife. I will try to do another one of these at mid-year and let you guys know how it's going. Overall, on average, I'm using this thing pretty much every day. So I've really liked this. I think possibly moving forward next year, I will stick to, where's the other one? I will possibly switch over to the spiral bound, especially if they come up with a spiral bound as weekly pages. This one doesn't have weekly pages, and I don't necessarily need the weekly pages, so I thought I might end up franken-planning this with whatever weekly planner I want to use. Because it is on a spiral, I can do that, but I really don't like that it's undated. If this were dated, it wouldn't have been even a question, because I didn't know at first what I wanted to do with those weekly pages. I knew going into getting the flagship that those weekly pages were not going to be used as like my weekly actual planner, and I can't commit to that. I switch weekly planners on and off all year. I just knew going into it I wasn't going to stick with it, so having it as my weekly wins is very helpful, but I don't know that I necessarily need to do that every week. So I think this would work out really well, and then I would have 5 sections because I would document my weekly wins as I went throughout the week. To be honest, a lot of my weekly wins I write are like the same type of things day to day, like writing what habits I did that day, and it's kind of repetitive. So I could write like my overall weekly wins and not write them multiple times a week. But yeah, I really like the idea of this, but it's just not dated at all. So that part throws me off, and it's not even that I use this calendar, so I don't know, it's not that big a deal that these aren't dated. You know, I could just put the month down and then from week to week use one of these and it wouldn't be that big a deal. But I can't remember if these were out like right before January 1st, but I don't think this one came in my launch bundle with this one. So that was another deciding factor. I had already purchased these that are dated, but moving into next year I might use something like this. But I would like it to be dated. That's my main hang up on this one. And yeah, I love the new covers, by the way. I've really liked the new ones. I used it a little bit in March, so let's see what I did here. Oh yeah, I decorated it thinking I was gonna use it for March and then never used it. That's right. I set up this page and I was like, oh yeah, this will work really well. Didn't end up using it. Just outlined it as like a mock-up thing and never went to using it. And I was like, it's such an annoying thing to like have to update all the entire thing. And some people like that. Some people love being able to use all the stickers. And now that I get the monthly Hubman and Chub Girl kits, it's not a big deal. I have the stickers, but I don't know, something about it just not as easy as a dated planner. So that's my thought moving forward to next year, is I may end up going coil bound, skipping the weekly pages for this one. But there you go, there's my quarter one. Be sure to like and subscribe, check down below. I'll link to all the things I mentioned for you guys. And I do have a Makselife coupon. And if you're interested in the Hubman and Chub Girl stickers, I have a coupon code for them as well. I'll insert it down below for you guys. I hope you guys are well, happy planning, happy goal setting, and I will catch you next time. Bye.